to the channel. Boozer here. So if you guys are at this video, you guys are probably expecting some kind of special exclusive roadmap from Plarium. But you know what? I'm going to talk to you guys about the complete absence of a roadmap in 2024 so far and why this is happening, and also what we can kind of expect if there was a roadmap. So let's jump into this video with why Plarium has not been giving us a roadmap, at least the usual annual roadmap that they used to do. So I don't want to give direct quotes, but basically what's happening is that Plarium probably is a little bit sensitive to the criticism from the community. That's my opinion. But they are not giving us a roadmap because they feel that once roadmap was given in the past, there was expectations set, and once expectations are not met, then people get really upset. Rightfully so, of course. However, the situation happened recently where they had a roadmap set for, I believe, 2022, and then the whole thing happened in the Ukraine, and then there's big delays. This was like the year of PvP, I believe, and then that was whole pushback like the whole year and everything like that. So it was just a really bad scene, and then obviously people were unhappy. So I understand why they would not give us a roadmap to follow anymore, but I feel like they definitely should give us something, at least maybe even a short term, 3 month, maybe not the whole year type thing. But anyways, I don't know if some of you guys remember, but if you guys remember, there was this roadmap from way back when. This post is from on Twitter around December 2021, and this was the Hydra Road Map. This was over 2 years ago. This was over 2 years ago, guys. The Hydra format. So I don't know where we are here, but it looks like we are on phase 2. Phase 3 is a new Hydra head and a new difficulty with improved rewards. That never happened. Phase 4 is global leaderboards. Avatar rewards. Never happened. Phase 5, another new head and another new difficulty. That never happened. So literally this whole roadmap got thrown out the window. If you guys remember this is over 2 years ago. Out the window, so that's gone. So I think this is what Plarium was referring to when they said, here's a roadmap, here's expectations, go. And then nothing happens, and then people are like, what the heck happened here, right? And it looks kind of silly. In the end, it looks just kind of silly. But hopefully, we're going to segue into what I think a possible roadmap looks like for 2024. And I feel like they should revisit Hydra, especially Hydra Clash, and, try to reposition this a little bit, because Hydra Clash is a little bit ridiculous in terms of what works here. Like, this is my clan. We're a very casual clan compared to like what other people are doing in terms of Hydra damage. But so Hydra Clash is just not the best implementation. Like, we rather have more like something like this: extra head, extra rewards that you can achieve, by obviously increasing or improving your own progress. So that would be a little bit better. So that's one thing that I think they could improve in 2024. The next thing that might get dropped this year might be this: the Great Void, the new clan boss that was teased. This was purposely put here maybe sometime last year. It was purposely put here. I don't think it was here all the time. So one day we'll have this open and it's going to be something cool or something new at least. So this might be something that they drop. However, it probably is a big piece of content. So we'll probably have to wait sometime in the fourth quarter. So somewhere in the winter time of 2024. But I could see this getting dropped this year. Following that, they did mention pretty specifically that they wanted to do more champion balancing. So this January right now, so if you're watching this video, it's upload time is January, second half of January already. But they did specifically call out a couple champions that were supposed to get rebalances this month. One of them being, is he here? No. Sorry. Oh, he's here. Mr. He's a void legendary, right? Yeah. Mr. Fortis himself, he was supposed to get a buff or rebalance again this month. We're also talking about, I believe, this champion, Angar, wherever he is. No, that's Growhack. Angar's a void, right? Yeah, here you go. Angar. I have both these guys. So this guy was supposed to get a buff, and Fortune is supposed to get a buff, as well as one of the mythicals, this one, Sigfrin, was supposed to get a buff or rebalance this month. So we haven't seen any of those yet, but Plarium specifically said that there will be some extra effort put into rebalancing champions this year specifically, because their excuse for not balancing last year was because they were working on mythicals and other things that were happening last year, obviously. Yeah, these are things that we can look forward to. So hopefully in 2024, there is more emphasis on balancing some of our existing champions. Since our champion pool is so massive, it can definitely benefit a lot of people that way. Speaking of rebalances, one of the most craziest things that happened like last year was that they did do a rebalance on this, but it was mostly ineffective. They really need to do something about this blessing system. Like I would say 3/4 of these blessings never get used because they're totally useless. And right now we are supposed to get a balance change for polymorph sometime soon. 2024, I think. Early 2024, I think. That's what they said. It hasn't happened yet. And it would be nice to have an idea of what's going to happen, because this single blessing shaped, the whole arena meta for so long. So it was obviously a massive impact on a massive section of this game, PvP. And right now we're in the dark about what they're going to do with this. And it'll be nicer to know a little bit beforehand, or at least have an idea of what's going to happen, or have this happen sooner than later, for example. Also, even irregardless of the change to this, they need to change some of these other not crushing rend, but like incinerate. They need to change some of these to make them more viable, and not to make, like, for example, like commanding presence and intimidating presence. Like, come on, man. Like, can you guys be a little bit more imaginative, except for like, instead of just having like a legendary version of one of the blessings? Like, so it just doesn't make sense. Like, lethal dose is still totally useless. Temporal, they get used. Ward gets used. Life harvest gets used. Seeing more play with this in PvP after the sheep nerf, obviously. Soul Reap still gets used. Sheep, Brimstone. Intimidating presence doesn't get used that much, and Lightning Cage doesn't get used that much, but they do have uses. The rest of them are just like Phantom Touch, but the rest of them just really don't get used. Like, so they definitely need to rebalance this again. They did do a rebalance almost a year ago, and like I said, it was pretty mixed reviews, but they need to do something about that again for sure. Hopefully in 2024, we'll see. So moving on, another section where I think they might get some additional updates is actually the Cur City. So we did, in the past, we did realize or remember that in Doom Tower, when after they did the update, they were monitoring it very closely for the first maybe 3 to 6 months, and then they did do an update. Same thing with the Hydra. Hydra was followed very closely 3 to 6 months, and updates were made. Basically, some adjustments like adding Provoke to the head of Decay. So I would expect a update for Cur City coming in the first 3 to 6 months of this year, possibly adding an extra difficulty. They said right now we only have normal and hard, so normal mode, hard mode. I expect a harder difficulty for this within the first 6 months. Right now it is quite difficult to complete this city in its entirety. Only a couple dozen people have done it first rotation. I mean, it's just a testament to how hard this actually is, because some of the stages, even if you have all the champions in the game with the best gear in the game, you might not be able to do it. Obviously, judging by only a couple dozen people finishing the entirety of this map last rotation, so maybe some adjustments are needed to hard difficulties so that they can add nightmare difficulty and then make that that much more difficult. For example, some of the rewards definitely need to be scaled up. For example, like this silver reward is kind of nothing. Like it takes millions of silver just to re-gear a whole team, just with gear that you already have, let alone leveling up gear or training champions and all that stuff. So some of these rewards definitely need to be increased. I feel like they need to have something here every month, not a one-time thing, but they need to have something here every month. just to help us out with some of the resources. Like, the resources are nice, don't get me wrong, really quality resources, but we need more of it, especially when, you know, we're talking about people still progressing through this. Like, they definitely need the help. Like, we won't be able to do much outside of this, you know, for a lot of people. But anyways, that's going to be one other completely separate issue. But I expect a full update for Cur City within the 3 to 6 months, especially when it's under a microscope right now. All right. And I think lastly for 2024, I don't want to jam pack 2024 with unrealistic expectations. So everything I said is kind of realistic. And lastly, I think the thing that they will probably do in 2024 is probably add a new primal shard. It's probably going to be a purple tinted red primal shard, because they did hint there will be void mythical legendaries somewhere in the pipeline, and I think it's going to be this year. They're going to let people whale out on these normal primal shards, get maxed out on their mythical champions currently, and then they will release the purple version of the mythical champions, and then people will whale out again. I would give primal shards, mythical champions, the first iteration, maybe a year, and then after that they're going to release the primal versions of the mythicals, and then they'll, you know, let people whale out there. And then that might be it. That might be it for the mythical champions, and then they'll just start, you know, blasting the pools with mythical champions, and then that's going to be the future of the game, right? So right now, like, some of these, they're just currently only one mythical maybe per faction. So eventually there'll be a handful, and then obviously there's going to be like void versions. I would say at least one void per, you know, per faction. Yeah, by the end of the year, I would say. So that's something I anticipate. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I mean, this is going to be a video that hopefully gets a lot of comments from you guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think is going to happen in 2024. This is just my version of the 2024 roadmap that I don't think we're going to get from Plarium. So let me know in the comments below. Like I said, if you guys enjoy these types of videos, let me know in the comments, and make sure you guys like and subscribe for future videos like this. And obviously I do a lot of PvP and tutorials and little guides like that. So if you guys like that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for future content. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.